Blessed day, guys, and peace be upon you this morning. So in this video, we're going to learn how to configure site-to-site IPsec VPN. So IPsec VPN is a type of wide area network technology that is used to connect maybe your HQ network to your branch network, okay, and allow secure communication or encrypted communication between the traffic from site A to site B. So any traffic from site B to site A or site A to site B will be encrypted and will be passing through a secure channel created through IPsec VPN. Okay. Also, I'll just let you know that today we're doing the last part under routing technologies. Okay. So we're in the last part under routing technologies, and hopefully tomorrow or the other day we'll start on VLAN or VoIP technologies, and we'll finish with firewalls. Okay. All right. So without any further ado, I'll open our notepad to let the steps that we're going to follow to achieve this objective. So here's the notepad. Configuring IPsec VPN type of 1. 1 is wide area network. So the draw next to topology, decorate, and comment. So as you can see, guys, here, I'm imagining a scenario whereby I have my main network on this side and the branch network on the other side, and we are connecting via ISP. Remember, maybe I'm far away, different cities, okay? So I cannot find a cable that runs from city A to city B. So I have to connect via ISP so that ISP knows how to connect to the other side, right? So we don't trust ISP route, although our traffic is going through them. So what you have to do is that we configure security protocols such as IPsec VPN so that all the traffic that is destined for this site is encrypted, or the sites from this site to this site will be encrypted, such that when they are passing through ISP, no one can read them because they're already passing under a secure channel, which is IPsec channeling. Okay. All right. So make sure you use 2911 router. In this lab, make sure you use 2911 router. If you don't use 2911 router, it won't work. And then use 2960 switch, 2960 switch. Okay. All right. So make sure 2911 router. Okay. Good. All right. And make sure there is a serial connection between the sites and the ISP. Okay. Although it's not a must, but just make sure there is a serial connection between the sites and the ISP. Okay. If you don't know how to connect the serial cables, please watch the previous video. We demonstrated how to do them. Okay. All right. So the second step is to configure IP addresses to the router's interfaces and the computers. Guys, being that IPsec VPN is a big lab, I've already done IP addressing. So for example, you can see the PCs, the computers, they have those kind of IP addresses, and also the router's interfaces. I did comments based on the networks, you can see, right? Okay, so for example, this interface took 192.168.10.1, this one took 2020.20.2, this one took 2020.20.1/30. /30 notation is equivalent to 255.255.255.252. This side took 30.30.31, you can see 30.30.31. This side took 30.30.32, yes, and this side took 192.168.20.1. all right. So the second step, the third step, I mean, configure OSPF and test communication. Being that we're using multiple routers, we have to configure a routing protocol. So in this case, we're going to do OSPF. I really love OSPF, and I normally do my labs using OSPF. Okay, so we just click on that router and we do it very, very fast to save time. In OSPF, we advertise only the directly connected networks. Okay, enable config T. So we just say router OSPF, with the process ID of let's today use 11. Okay, then router ID of let's say 2.1 2.1. Okay, oh sorry, 2.1. Okay, then we advertise the networks. So we have which network? This one, which was 192.168.10.0. Subnet wildcard mask is 0.0.0.255 area 0. Hit enter. Another network is this one, which is 20.20.0. So just say 20.20.20.0. Wildcard mask 0.0.0.3 because /30 notation. Okay, exit and do right. So guys, I'll do a OSPF configuration on this router and this router very fast this time. Okay guys, so I've done OSPF configuration, and you can see the routers will be forming neighbors as soon as possible. You can see they are formed neighbors. So for this OSPF router, it should have two neighbors. You can see it has formed two neighbors. The two neighbors here. Okay, all right. And now we've been told to test communication such that when we're going to configure IPsec VPN, we should have easy time because the communication is already enabled. So I'll take IP address of this computer. You can see it's 192.168.20.20. Then I try to ping from this point. Okay, remember I have already configured IP addresses to all of these devices. 20 to 20. Yes, so basically it's going to ping because we've already configured OSPF. So OSPF is very important when configuring IPsec VPN. Just make sure you configure routing protocol. Okay, all right. So let's go to the another step. All right, so we begin configuring IPsec VPN. So this is the main discussion of today's class. So let's begin configuring IPsec VPN. So we have several steps that we're going to follow in order to achieve this objective. For example, we have to enable security technology package. So guys, this is what enables us to configure IPsec VPN. So we have to enable security technology on these routers. And that's why I was telling you that you use 2911 router. Okay? Because it's only 2911 router that you can enable the security technology. Okay? All right, so how do we enable security technology? We just go here and just a minute. Just say license boot, then query module, then query C29. Okay, just query, just start with license boot, then is query, write module. Then the version of router is 2911, so you can see it's C29 series. Okay, then I just query also, then I write technology package, as you can see it here. Query also, query again. You can see you choose security K9, just choose security K9 and query, and you just hit enter. So that is enabled. Exit and do right and right. So you do the same for this router. Okay, and license boot, license ops config T. So license boot module, the 29 series, then technologies package to be security K9, and you hit enter, exit and do right. So and right. So show version. So when you write show version here, then this place where it should be. So so you can still see the security is disabled. Okay, I can see still security is disabled still. So what we can do, we just reload, then we do it again. We just reload and do it again. Okay, so guys, basically what I did was to I reloaded the devices and I closed the packet tracer file and opened again. So sometimes the error is, the devices are very persistent in accepting the license security boot, okay? License boot security package, okay? So what you do, just reload the devices and close the packet tracer file and open again. The problem is always the packet trace, okay? Just click it and come here again now. Enable. What I did, I reloaded the devices and I closed the packet tracer file and I opened them again. Okay, so we can do it now. So just say license, put it somewhere here. License boot module to be C2900, technology package to be security K9, and you hit enter. And now you see here we get all of these notification here. Activation of software command line interface will be the evidence of your acceptance of this agreement. So just say yes. Yes. Good. Okay, so we go back to the second router, this one, and do the same. Okay. So we do it very fast, save time. So what do we do? Enable config T. Just say license boot module C29 technology package security K9 and hit enter. You see that notification, just say yes and it has been enabled successfully. It's very important because if you don't enable this, IPsec VPN will no longer work, will never work. Okay, so make sure if you don't receive this this notice here, just make sure close this packet tracer file and open it again. Okay, and it will work, right? And also make sure that when you show version, you find this entry. Okay, all right, so make sure security K9 evaluation security K9. If it's not like this and you've configured, you've updated the license boot, please close the packet tracer again and open. The problem is packet tracer. It's working perfectly fine in GNS3. So even if you can just show on the other router and say show version, make sure everything is this way. Security K9, okay, evaluation security K9, okay. If it's not like this, if here is disabled, please close the packet tracer again and open again. Okay, the problem is packet tracer. All right, so the second step, configure extended access control list to permit the target on each router. Basically, IPsec VPN uses access control list, okay, because we need to define the traffic in the interested traffic, the one that we want to encrypt. So we will tell the router here that any traffic from this network to this network, please, it should be passing through IPsec channel. Any traffic from this network to this network should be passing through this channel. Okay. Alright. So how do we do that? We do it on the two routers. Okay. Okay. We don't have control over ISP. So what we did here was just OSPF. That's enough for us. Okay. Everything on the two routers. So let's configure extended access control list. All right. So we just say config T access list. Let's use 130. Okay. And make sure the access list, you master the access list. Okay. Number. Okay. Access list permit IP. Okay. So it's 192.168.10.0 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and we want it to go to this destination. Okay. All right. So the target is 20.0, 192.168.20.0 with the wildcard mask of subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and hit enter. That's all. And we do the same on the other side. So we go here also and define the traffic in interest. Okay, so we just say access list 130. Okay, permit IP. It's 192.168.20.0 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Then we want to allow the traffic from this network to this network. Okay, all right. So 192.168.10.0 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and hit enter. That's all. That's all. All right. So when you go back to our notepad, this is where everything now begins. IPsec VPN. Not easy protocol. It's not an easy to configure protocol. Okay. All right. So we configure what's called Internet Key Exchange Phase 1 for Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol Policy on each router. So we configure what's called IKE Phase 1 ISACAMAP policy on each router. So how do we do that? Very, very simple. So we make sure whatever we configure on this side, we do the same on the other side. Okay, just a little bit of modification, but every protocol that we configure on the other side, we do it on the other side so that everything matches. Okay, all right. So let's do it very, very fast, save time. So we will start on this router. So we've said that we configure what's called IKE, Internet Key Exchange Phase 1 for Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol on each router. So let's start on the other side. So what we do, we just say crypto ISACAMAP with the policy number. Okay, remember we were to create IKE Phase 1. Okay, all right. Policy number, let's say use policy number 10. That's okay. All right, all good. So you can see we're in Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol entry. Okay, so what we do here, we just specify the encryption with the algorithm that we're going to use. So in this case, I just want to use encryption. Which type of encryption algorithm? Let's use AES with the length of 256. Okay, all right. Then we hit enter. Then now what we do here, remember we're using IKE with Internet Key Exchange. So basically we need to specify that the authentication to be pre-shared. We are going to use pre-shared key here. Okay, all right. Then now what to do here, we just specify Diffie-Hellman. Diffie-Hellman is the one that is used for a key exchange. Diffie-Hellman algorithm. It's the one that is used for a key exchange. So let's just say group 5. So group 5 represents Diffie-Hellman. Okay, all right. So we just exit that interface, right? Good. All right. So after doing this, guys, now remember we said that we're going to use pre-shared key for authentication. So let's specify that pre-shared key. Now how do we specify that pre-shared key? Very, very simple. Just say crypto ISACAMAP key to be, which key can we use? Let's use Gtech 45. Okay, so this is the key. This is the pre-shared key that we specified here, that authentication is going to happen via pre-shared key. Okay, and this is the key. So make sure that the same thing is configured on the other side. Okay, all right. So, and our target is address. Our target, here now, the key should be used with this router and the target. So the target should be the IP address of this interface. Okay, because the traffic will be leaving this side, going this way and entering on this interface. So the IP address of this interface is 3032. Okay, then we just say 3032 and hit enter and do right. So IKE Phase 1 is done on this router. So let's do IKE Phase 2 on the other side. So what to do here also, config T. So so what to do here also, we just create a crypto is a come up policy number. Which policy did we use on the other side? Number 10, I believe. Okay, just make sure that whatever you're configuring on this side is the same thing that is happening on the other side, right? Okay, and you just hit enter and you can see where under is a come up. Okay, all right, so we specify the encryption algorithm. So we're going to use encryption algorithm of AES length of 256. Okay, then authentication to open via pre-shared key. Okay, and the Diffie-Hellman group of 5. Okay, all right, exit. Good. So now let's specify the pre-shared key that we said previously. Okay, so just say crypto is a come up, key was Gtech 45. The key should match, and our address, our target from this router. Okay, the target from this router is the IP address of this interface. Now the IP address of that interface, you can see it's 20.20.22. So we just say 20.20.20.2 and you hit enter and do right. Okay, so I believe the key is the same. If you mess here, it won't work. Gtech 45, the pre-shared key here. Good. So guys, let's go back to our notepad. You can see now we go to configure IKE Phase 2 and with IPsec policy on each router. So how do we do that? Very simple. The same way we did for IKE Phase 1, now on each router we're going to do for IKE Phase 2, and now we're going to involve IPsec policy. Okay, all right, so let's do it very fast. I'll start with this router. So I just click it and turn it a little bit. All right, so how do we start? So the first thing that we do, we create what is called a transform set, okay, to use several protocols. Okay, so what we do here, we just create what's called transform set, give it a name, and specify what protocols it should use. So what we do here, we just say crypto IPsec transform set. Let's give it any name. Which name can I give this transform set? Let's just use VPN set. Okay, good, right? Then we specify which protocol it uses. It uses which protocol? It's called ESP ASSS. Then another protocol that it should use is ESP then SHA HMAC. So these are the protocols that are used to form the channel. Okay, this is a very important protocol that I use in IPsec VPN. Okay, all right, so we just hit enter. Remember the same thing we're doing on this router, we're going to do on the other router. Okay, then we proceed. Now what we do, now we bind this transform set. Okay, we bind this transform set with the policy number that we created, with the policy that we created above here. Okay, we bind the transform set with the policy number that we created above here. So how do we do that? Very simple. We just say crypto map. We give it a name now. Let's say VPN map. Okay, to map policy number 10 IPsec is a come up. Okay, all right, then we hit enter. Note, a new crypto will remain disabled until a peer or a valid access list have been configured. So a peer or valid access control list. So that's why we need to bind it also with access control list and specify the peer. Okay, all right. So what we do here now is to set the peer the way it has said here. So we need to set the peer. The peer is the neighbor router. Then this one. Okay. So what we do here, we can just give it a description first. Just say description to be this VPN connects to site B branch. Okay, and I just entered. Now we give it the peer. We specify the peer address. So the peer address, just say set peer, set peer to be the peer address of this interface, which was 3032. So it was 30.30.30.2, and you hit enter. Okay, then finally what we do here, we just say set transform set, transform set to use VPN set. Do you remember when I was creating VPN set here? That the transform set that was called VPN set. All right. So let me query VPN set. Everything should match. If it doesn't match, it's not going to work. Okay. All right. Then we say match address. Now this is where we specify the access control list. Do you remember the access control list that we created previously? It was 130. Hit enter. Okay. Then exit. Do right. Do show start. I just want to verify if we created 130 as the access control list. Where's the access control list? Yes, here. Yes. So that's all. That's all about that. Then we go to this router also and do IKE Phase 2 using IPsec policy. The first thing we were doing, we were using ISACAMAP policy. Okay. Alright. So what we do here, we just say we create crypto transform set first. Transform set, and give it the similar name. Let's use VPN set. Okay. And then let's see. Let's specify what protocol it will use. ESP. ESP. It's normally ESP. ES. Then ESP SHA. That one. Okay. And we hit enter. Okay. After that one, now we bind it to the policy that we created above, ISACAMAP policy. Okay. So what we do is we just create what is called crypto maps. So we just create crypto map, and let's call it VPN map, the way we did on the other side, VPN map. Okay, right? Then let's map it to which policy? Policy number 10. It was policy number 10. I can remember. You can see here. Okay, let's map it to the policy number 10. Then IPsec ISACAMAP. Okay, good. So here let's give description to be this connects to site A HQ. Good. All right. So after this one, guys, we set peers. So set peer to be the peer address of this interface, which is 20.20.20.2. Yes, and we hit enter. And finally, you know what we do? We just set transform set to be remember we created what's called VPN set. Okay, VPN set. So we just say VPN set, and VPN set doesn't exist. Yes, VPN set. Good. So you should be very, very careful so that you write whatever you wrote. Okay. Then finally we just match it to the access control list that we created. Match address to be the access control list that we created. It was 130. Exit and do right. And when you go to our notepad now, configure crypto map on the outgoing interfaces. Remember, for crypto map or the IPsec VPN to take effect, to start functioning, then we must put it into the interface such that when the traffic is leaving, that policy is put into effect. Okay. All right. So this is 0030. This is also 0030. So what we're going to do, we're just going to enter that interface and activate the crypto map policy. Yes. Interface serial 030 and hit enter. So we just say crypto map. It was VPN map. You remember? That's all. Exit and do right. So you can see crypto 6 map on off, Ethercam map is on. Okay, good. So we do the same to this interface. We just say interface serial 0330 crypto map. It was a VPN map. Good. Exit and do right. All right, so let me just verify if I did it right. Which interface? Good, the interface is right. On this side also the interface is right. So to verify the configuration, we just go here, and do this. We just say and show crypto map IPsec crypto IPsec security association, and we hit enter. So this is where you identify the IPsec VPN configuration. You can see the interface that is used is 030, and crypto map tag, VPN tag, local address is this one. The local address is this one. Okay, and you can see here our remote address is endpoint is 3032. Okay, all right. So basically, and where is the part of access control list? Let me check this here. All right, so okay, so let's so if there is no part of access control list, then there is a problem, because I can see some strange local and remote identity addresses here that we never configured. So let me just check on my access control list how I configured it. Config T, do show start. You can see there's a problem somewhere. Here's our access control list. Access control list 30 permit IP. I didn't configure this. Oh, I forgot. Well, when you're configuring our extended access control list, normally use a wildcard mask instead of a subnet mask. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy that and say no to that, and I hit enter. Now it's deleted. Okay, now this is the deleted. So let's write the right one. Access list 130 permit IP. It's on this router, so 192.168.10.0, then the wildcard node mask, not the subnet mask, 0.0.0.255. Then our destination is this side, okay, 20.0. So 192.168.20.0 and 0.0.0.255. Sorry, I forgot that. I forgot to include the wildcard mask instead of subnet mask. Right? Okay, so if I can just say and right, do show crypto IPsec security association. Yes, so we should be getting this. Okay, you can see the local network is this one, and the destination is this one. All right, so let's go this side also to check if we configure the right access control list. Enable config T. So do show start. So the same problem is here. You can see 000 is any IP address with this subnet mask. So we need to delete this first. I copy, and you just say no. Just say no, and you paste that one, and I paste it. So let's write the correct access control list. Access list 130 permit IP 192.168.20.0 0.0.0.255. Then the destination is this side. Okay, 192.168.10.0 0.0.0.255. Do right. Do show start. So I want to see the correct access control is, yeah, so this is fine, and if I can even say and show crypto IPsec security associations, now you can see we have target and the source, right? So basically I think the tunnel has been formed, and if you can just try to ping from this point to the other point, you will see that these values here, you can see as per now they are 0000. Packets encapsulated, encrypted, digested, decapsulated, decrypted, verified are still 000. Even on this side, you can see even on this side. But the moment I will try to ping, the packet must pass here. But being that this is our interested traffic, the traffic matches our with the access control list policy, and the access control list policy is part of IPsec VPN configuration. So the tunnel will be formed whenever traffic is traveling from this network to this network, or from this network to this network. So let's try to ping. So I just go here, just take this IP address, come to desktop, IP configuration, and I close that. I come to desktop, CMD, ping, and I try to ping 20.10. So let's just give it some time. For IPsec VPN, there are normally encryption taking place, so that may be there might be delays, okay, because of encryption. Yeah. So finally you can see we have managed to ping. So if I can just go here again, and let me put it somewhere here, and say just issue the same command, show crypto IPsec security associations, and you see now the value have changed. Even if I can now ping again, if I can ping again and come back here, you will see the number of packets encrypted encapsulated will increase. So you see it's now 76. Even if you go on this side here, you can see previously it was 00, but if you can just issue the same command, you can see there are changes. Okay, so guys, basically we have successfully configured site-to-site IPsec VPN and created a secure tunnel between site A and site B, such that any data traveling from site A to site B will be encrypted and cannot be read by the man in the middle. Okay, so I'll mark this section, which is the last section under routing, as done. So when we meet next, let's start with the VLAN and VoIP technologies, and finally we finish with the firewall technologies. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share with friends, and let's see you again in the next video. Bye and thank you.